What's good, everybody? It's episode 7 here of the Step Back. Took a couple of weeks off, but we're back, man. It's your boy Rob, Choder, Marlyn. Got a new segment going now. What's the word, Marlyn?
Nothing much. I officially don't work at Target anymore, so I can be back pretty more consistently. Pretty more. I don't think it makes sense. Yeah, so I've been having a lot of freedom lately, and I've been trying to cook more. I just had a delicious home cooked meal. I
Sounds
had
good.
some arrachera. Yeah, I cut it up, put some adobo and some lemon, and I just let that marinate overnight.
Yeah.
Hella patience. That's like some stuff like a dad.
It's like you really want to you go to look at the fridge, and when you go and look to see if there's food and you're like, oh, it's still marinating. Like, you want it in that moment.
I swear. I don't know what it is. I just always gravitate towards Mexican food. I mean, I'm Mexican, so half Mexican, so that makes sense. But I just
It's
always,
just it's
what do
so
you,
good.
what's the best culture food? I know you love Italian. You're honorary Italian.
Everyone thinks I'm Italian too. It's so
Everyone
funny.
thinks I'm Italian. You just said
It's just I
it.
don't know. Obviously I eat pasta maybe more than anybody
With carbs.
I just love pasta.
I
And
love
every
pasta too.
almost every restaurant I refer to ends up being an Italian restaurant.
It really does. Maggiano, Saggiano, Gaggiano. Like,
Connie's.
I already know exactly what it is that you're. Before you even say what the food was, I'm like, he got us a sausage beef combo.
Or some chicken Alfredo. One of the two.
Remember we had that like it was damn near a date. When we went to Cafe Borgia. That's still like the best Alfredo I've ever had.
It was too. We ordered the exact same thing. Like there was nothing different about either of our meals. Everything was the exact same. I think it was down to the drink. Our drinks were the same.
And I had just got paid and cashed my check, and I spent half my check on that meal.
That's one
I got
thing.
paid 80, we spent like 40.
Yeah, that's one thing we always did. Just going out to eat good every single time. We'd be like, "Hey, you ready to go eat?" Yeah, like it's all that we would do.
The day before I came to Valpo, we like went to Red Lobster just on a whim. We just spent like $50 at Red Lobster for no reason.
I was just at Red Lobster a couple of days ago with Lily,
Cheddar
and
Bay? Cheddar
uh,
Bay.
the biscuits, dude. I brought home like a whole slab.
I went with my uncle and I had legitimately like 7 biscuits.
They're too good, and then but
I
like it's endless. So you just keep wanting more and more, and then the food
was
gets
telling
there.
somebody, I was like, yeah, I'm uh I'm going on a keto diet. I just had hella biscuits though. I don't know if that was you or somebody else. They were like, so you're not on a keto diet? No, I
Like,
just started and ended.
I tried, but then I went to Red Lobster.
That's the worst place to go if you're trying to go on a keto diet.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know. Like I was there and like I got the lobster's dream. That meal. It was good. It was good, don't get me wrong, but it was other lobster. It was
I would expect that.
but the thing is, all right, so hear me out on this, right? So Lily got pissed at me for this, but I want to
Uh,
hear your opinion. All right. So when you go there and they have certain meals, but it's like, all right, you have to choose two sides, right?
mhm.
Um, so I'm looking at the sides, and I don't know, me, like I'm very particular about my sides. Like
Yeah.
I don't even like mashed potatoes, bro.
You don't like mashed
But I
potatoes?
don't like mashed
That's
potatoes.
always the easy go-to.
No, I just don't like mashed potatoes. I don't like the way it feels. Um, but so I get fries as one of them, right? And I'm looking at everything
It's a good
else, and
one.
I'm just like, you know what? I don't know what to get. I don't know what to get. So then I ordered something.
Did
I
you?
ordered, huh?
I'm gonna get. Did you get Brussels sprouts?
No, no, no. Lily
Oh,
actually got those one time. She actually really liked them.
I got them
Um,
last time.
so I look at the other thing, and I'm like, you know what? I'll
Freaking.
just get a mashed potatoes, but Lily will eat them.
Mhm.
But I guess the mashed potatoes that I picked, the lobster mashed potatoes, they were an extra $5. And Lily was pissed, bro. She was
She was
pissed.
paying.
She was paying until we found out it was on the card, so I had to pay. So I ended up losing $5. No one touched the damn mashed potatoes, bro. I thought I got them. I
Why?
was like, I got them because you were gonna eat them. She was like, I ordered my own mashed potatoes already, bro. She was so mad. So there was
Should have took
hella
him
mashed
home.
potatoes on the table.
But so did she eat hers instead of yours?
Yeah, she's
So
not a
she did.
huge she's not a huge lobster fan.
Oh, why
She's
didn't
not.
you consult her about getting lobster mashed potatoes?
I don't. I just felt like when you have like the I don't know what's the word
We had an agreement that she didn't
telepathy,
agree to.
like a mental agreement, but she
You guys
never
thought
she never agreed.
she hella wasn't on the same page.
She was not, and
She
so yeah,
never agreed.
I wasted $5.
That does suck when you see it your account dwindling.
Yeah, at least that is good. Tomorrow's payday too, so it's gonna be that's exciting.
What oh we kind of went off topic, but what so is Italian your favorite culture?
Italian. If I had to choose, yeah, because I much prefer homemade Mexican food. I don't really like
You know,
going
that
out to
counts
eat.
though.
Huh?
But I'm saying homemade counts. It's part of it.
Oh, if we're doing homemade, then yeah,
I'm
Mexican.
saying just overall.
I would probably have to go Italian because I enjoy more Italian foods than
And pizza really holds a lot of weight in the
hell
world.
yeah. Like pizza's the like
But
that's
so do
just
tacos.
everything. I don't know. It's just because I guess there's more of a wide variety of Italian foods that I like than Mexican food.
Yeah.
And because like Mexican food, it's hard for me to go out and enjoy it if it's not like I said, like homemade. Like I've had like your mom's food, which is pretty good. My mom's food, and everyone's had my mom's food.
We
And
did
like
have the Levante Muertos.
that's too good.
Yeah.
I don't even want to get into that. I might start drooling, bro. I might start drooling everywhere.
What about you, Choder? You go Mexican, don't you?
Yeah, I gotta go Mexican food.
Yeah. Choder
Never go wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I can't like I literally if I'm eating rice, I can't eat anything but homemade rice. It's so hard for me to eat rice if it's not homemade. There's a difference, man. And it's
No, I agree with that.
because
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean you started going to when we went we remember when we were driving going out to eat one day and then we just ended up at what is it? What's the place in Griffith or Highland? What the hell's that place called? By Wendy's.
Mexican?
You know what I'm talking? Yeah, where you get the fish head.
Oh, asada.
Asada. Yeah, I kept wanting to say El Salto. But we go to Asada. We just ended up there that one day. Like we were like, what do you want to eat? What do you want to eat? And I was like, yeah, let's
Took
go
a lot
here.
of money there too. You know it's expensive when they have hella things on the menu that say market price.
Hell yeah, and because you got the fit. Well, you tore that fish up.
Yeah, hella bones in it. I got that again and brought it home.
Because remember I was ordering, but I didn't realize I don't know why I thought I was getting just a steak, and I ended up getting a milanesa, and I don't like tortas de milanesa, and that's what I ordered, and I felt like an idiot, bro. It was so stupid. It was so stupid. I hated that meal. I ate like maybe a quarter of it. Wasted all that money.
Be more careful when you're ordering.
Honestly, I would. Well, it was just.
Little mishaps.
I know, man. It was just ridiculous. But yeah, man. Anything else, man? You got anything else that's going on in that wild mind of yours? I know there's something up there. You had to have seen something random recently that you know how you are. You always tell me and Chota the most random thing that you see anywhere.
Yeah.
I was just hooping and I was thinking, like, indoor courts are so much better than outdoor courts.
That's 100% true, especially where we hoop in Roxana.
Because the wind is like a 6-man.
Hell yeah, it's a 6 defender. It's hella home court. If you play there frequently,
like, I don't even know if that helps. Like, because you gotta like angle your shot so that the wind is going like in a video.
And it's double rimmed.
Does that help? That's the least.
I don't know. Like
that
if you notice
the lowest efficiency of any rim in the world, I bet. Like people make
the worst runs.
You hella get the Chicago win there. Like that's a late.
It's literally
late
built for you
Michigan
to miss shots because it got a small backboard, so you can't like go off the top of the backboard. It's a hard backboard too, so you can't like hit bank shots. Thick double rim too. It's not just a double, damn near a triple.
You know who would be hella? You know who would be hella efficient on that court? You know who would be real efficient on that court? I'm thinking of an NBA player. Let's see. I'll give you a guess. Let's see if you can get it. I feel like this guy would be super efficient on a Roxana hoop. He's not in the. He's not in the league anymore. He's retired.
What makes you say this about this person? Is he
just because the way he plays? The way he plays.
Is he a big or a guard?
He's a big.
Is it Tim Duncan?
Yeah, it's,
You just
I
make
feel like
everything.
Tim Duncan would be cold at Roxanne.
No, because the backboard ain't big enough for him.
Yeah, can't be a backboard killer.
It don't matter, dude.
I don't even know where this came from.
He's cold though, but man, that's what's going on right now in Marlon's mind. But yeah, we're gonna move on to our next topic. More of a sad topic you could kind of say with how much good is going around the league right now. With young guys getting hurt, man, it is tough out there. It sucks right now for all these young guys. I wanted to get your guys' take on it though. The three guys just off the dome, Donovan Mitchell, Jamal Murray, and yesterday Trae Young, all getting hurt. Do you think there's something to these guys getting hurt? Something connected to it? Could it be the shortened off season? Could it just be, wear and tear on bodies for young guys playing so much? Or I don't know, but it's happening very frequently right now.
That is a good question. I have no idea what it is. I feel like, but I feel like it's not new that this season, like there's been a lot of injuries just lately. Like, and it ruins the competitiveness of the NBA almost. Because like, think of how much more parity there would have been last year in the NBA if like KD was playing or Clay was playing. That's a bunch of teams with like solid players. That's like almost like college. Like you really wouldn't know who was going to win the championship last year if it was all those teams playing. So the injuries are pretty common, I feel like, over the last few years. But yeah, I don't know what it is, but I do. It does seem like there's more injuries than usual. Though. What was Trae Young's injury?
It was a grade 2 ankle sprain, but it looked way worse. It looked way worse.
Yeah, it looked bad the way he was in pain.
Mm-hmm.
Is he not going to be out that long though?
I think they said a couple weeks. I think he's gonna get a second opinion on how long. I'm not 100% sure. I saw like the ESPN notification, but I know
it just talks about how like he'll come back as soon as like the swelling, like as soon as he feels comfortable, I guess. But yeah, the second opinion will help.
So I'm guessing probably like 2 to 3 weeks. Probably miss cut up until playoff time. Hopefully, the thing that sucks is how much the Hawks are surging. Ever since they got Nate McMillan, and now you're losing your star point guard. Hopefully, it doesn't drop them out of the playoff race because they also don't have DeAndre Hunter. He's been hurt for a while, but is Chris Dunn back yet?
No.
Oh, I forgot they had him. No, he's back.
No, he's still out.
Man, I don't even know who their backup point guard is now.
I don't know. I think
they traded
Lou Will.
Yeah. Oh, they do have Lou Will.
Yeah, bro. I think it's because of the shortened season. Like, obviously, I think the short off season definitely was, like a factor in it. But I mean, that really could affect too many people. Like for Trae Young, I think it was just like a freak thing. Like he just rolled his ankle. Like I'd say for like the guys like a Jamal Murray and things like that, and Donovan Mitchell, they're definitely just like wore out. And even like the older guys like LeBron and AD, like theirs is probably just obviously they're injured, but also just kind of trying to keep them safe for playoffs, so they're not rushing anything at all. So like, but yeah, I think the numerous injuries that we see, like we haven't seen the Brooklyn Nets at full strength like at all. Like, so
Harden's another one. Harden's another injury too.
It's like one of them's always hurt, and I think it definitely has to do with just the fact of like, not obviously the season shortened up, and so like there's no like real breaks like. And like according to like all these reports that I see, or like NBA players talking about this crazy season, it's like even though like they got a game, like they have so much more to do before a game. Like they have multiple tests, they be up super early, like different practices, and they can't. It's just like everything is such a process this year, and it's probably just like more of a mental battle than anything, but definitely physically, obviously, as we're seeing like. The injury report is crazy. Like I have like so many guys are out, not just day to day, like out. So it sucks.
Bringing up the Nets brings me to another point, and kind of a slightly different conversation that I wanted to talk about, because like you said, the injury reports are crazy now, but there's also a lot of precaution that people are taking. But like something that really angered me last week was when the Sixers played the Nets and KD didn't play. Now they did just come off of a back-to-back with the Timberwolves, and they didn't want him to play back-to-backs. But I'm like, if you know there's a nationally televised game against the number one seed in your conference, and you guys are pretty likely to meet in the playoffs, why would you play against the worst team in the league versus the number one seed? Like things like that irritate me because I'm all for, players' rights and like players having a good amount of power in the league because that's the reason we watch is because of the players. You don't watch because of coaches. You don't watch because of GMs. You don't watch because of owners. You watch because of the product, which is players playing out there entertaining us. And it's like the players should have rights because of that, but also that's double sided because we watch the NBA to see the players. We don't watch the NBA to. If we know Kevin Durant and Kyrie's playing, we don't want to see Joel Embiid go against Joe Harris and DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah.
Go against Kevin Durant. Like I was looking forward to that game. I'm like, oh, KD just played. He didn't get hurt, so bet we're gonna see the two top teams and the best players on each team play. And then I look, and KD's out. I'm like, why did you play yesterday? Then don't play that game. Play this game.
Yeah.
I think
That's
that just
actually
sets
a really
a
good
bad
point.
trend. And then you look, and the Clippers been getting a lot of nationally televised games too. And then it's like one day Kawhi doesn't play, one day Paul George doesn't play. I'm like, can we please see a nationally televised game with full health? But then they'll play against teams like the Kings. I'm like, come on, man. That's one of the reasons the ratings are down now. I'm like, player salaries are getting higher and higher. That should be more incentive to want to play better and play more. I get the injury. There's a lot of
meaningful games.
And you do want to play. You want to be healthy for the playoffs. But it's like we want to see a good regular season too. That's majority of the revenue comes from the regular season.
Right.
Yeah, when it comes to that, I only agree with players, I understand sitting back to backs. I agree with you 100%. You got to play against the better teams because that's where you're truly proving your team what they could actually do. No one give a shit if you could beat the Timberwolves. No disrespect, but if you're choosing between the Sixers and the Timberwolves, the Sixers are a title contender. The Timberwolves are a number one pick contender. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like no one cares if you can go out there and beat them. But we want to see you play in the big games. So I only agree with players, sitting if they actually have an injury or if you're really resting on a back-to-back because you're going to be going for a playoff push. Like Kawhi, the year when he was on the Raptors.
Like LeBron still plays back-to-backs and
LeBron's like the oldest player in the league.
Yeah.
The dude's got more wear and tear on his body than anybody. But these other guys are just resting. And honestly, you look at some other guys, I mean, other than the year that he was with the Spurs, Kawhi hasn't really had a serious injury. He had that one serious injury, and he's been resting ever since. Yeah. And I don't know, is he actually at 100% when he plays? Because, I mean, in the playoffs, he looks like he's pretty damn fine. And he's playing every single day. But I just don't understand why he has to sit all the time.
People want to see you play, man.
Yeah, like, I understand there's no fans in the crowd right now, and I was actually listening to Chuck and Ernie's podcast. I listen to them when I'm at work all the time. And Charles was talking about, how players sit and they, they're load managing. But he was saying, I wonder if eventually they're going to come and realize, how much they took the fans for granted when they were there. We never got to play, and now they're not playing in front of fans anymore. You have little Johnny. Well, this is his birthday gift or whatever. Yeah, it's his first time ever coming to see you play live.
In advance, his parents got him the tickets, and
now he's not seeing his favorite player play.
Yeah,
it sucks.
Yeah.
So
and you can't minimize that because those little moments of fans going to this game and this game, that's what makes money for the NBA. So it's like, I mean, I get it. You guys have a pretty hard job, but that's the reason you get compensated so well because it's a hard job.
You look at a lot of those other guys. I mean, and I'm not trying to sound like, like an old head here because I'm not. But you look at those guys in the 80s and the 90s, they played every damn game.
Yeah.
It's every single game until they got hurt. But now guys want to sit, and it's just frustrating as a fan. And I understand where, you want to take care of your body for when it matters most. I get that. But you can't do it so frequently. You can't do it so frequently.
Yeah.
It happens like when it comes to the point where there's only 72 games this season, and say you sit 20 of them, you're only playing 52 games. I don't know. You could figure out that percentage. You might know it already off the top of your head, but like it's just hard. It's hard to deal with that as a fan and even as a broadcaster, dude. You know, you're Mike Breen, you're Marv Albert. You wanna like call a game when it's
Yeah.
Kawhi versus KD, and now neither of them are playing. Here comes Bruce Brown.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruce Brown's a solid player. He and KD. Like
Yeah.
it's
No
just
one's watching Bruce Brown. Like
yeah.
it really
Right.
is annoying
We're
when
tuning into that game to see Kevin Durant.
like you see when you see the especially like really good matchups like the Sixers and the Nets is a really good matchup. I look forward to those nationally televised games because I don't have league pass.
Yeah.
So when there's like marquee matchups, I'm like bet. But nowadays I don't even get excited when I see it because I'm like somebody's big probably not playing. That's why I respect guys like Giannis and Luka and Harden and LeBron because when they're healthy they play. Especially
Every single
Harden.
game. And even like those other guys that we were talking about at the beginning, it sucks that their injuries came. Don don't sit games. Jamal Murray doesn't sit. Trey doesn't sit. But now they put like obviously now they're gonna probably end up having to load manage because of they got their injuries. But I don't think that's because of them playing so much. I just think it's because of a shortened offseason and a freak incident. Like Jamal Murray's, that sucks, man. You know, prayers up for him after tearing his ACL because the Nuggets, dude, that's a contender. That's a contender.
That was exciting too. I was like, they're gonna win a series probably at least one.
They definitely. I mean, because the West is so deep.
Nuggets still might win a series,
but it's just Jokic gonna have to step up even more. Michael Porter Jr. is gonna have to step up like crazy for that team.
Yeah, for sure.
Same with Monte Morris. He's gonna have to bring that defense in. Now that's at the starting point guard spot. Because I was wanting them to actually trade for like a backup point guard at the deadline, someone who could come in, maybe like a Rondo, someone like that, you know, with experience, then do it. It sucks, but I hope Jamal Murray comes back bigger and better, man. He's a stud. But yeah, I don't know. Any final say on, you know, just the injuries and everything going on right now? It sucks, but I agree 100%. People shouldn't with you know sitting nationally televised games. Sit the games where no one's watching.
Yeah.
Just don't
and
sit
even
nationally
then,
televised.
you don't really want to sit too much because like you said, if anything, this is the year where you can sit because a lot of fans can't come to games, but like especially when it's full like what do you call it? Full capacity.
Yeah.
You don't want to just miss games for slight tweaks or anything like you want to play as much as you can, but especially play the nationally televised games. That's where the NBA gets a lot of the revenue from. If the ratings are down, that means NBA revenue is down. So
yeah. Anything, Shoulder?
No, honestly, I mean, I commented on it. I mean, this shortened season sucks. I hope these young guys take advantage of the off season when it comes. Granted, whoever makes playoffs or not, I don't know. I hope we can finish the rest of the year and these guys can get healthy and we can have a competitive playoffs with whoever makes it. And I don't know, just got to be, as a fan, you just got to be thankful for the time you do have with players because, you know, as us as Bulls fans, like we have Derrick Rose and then we lose him. And it's just like, you just don't realize like it could all be gone. Like, and same thing for players. But yeah, I don't know. I don't really got too much.
Yeah, man. But like we said, man, prayers up for all those guys that got hurt. It sucks. They'll come back better though, man. Especially, I know.
How long is Donovan Mitchell out?
I think about a month. Yeah, he had a really bad ankle. But next we're gonna go into the debate side of the show. Choder is gonna be the ring announcer for this one. Me and Marlyn are going to go head to head. Ben was the champ, but he wasn't able to join us today. So it's just going to be us three. We got 3 questions. I'll read them off and then Choder will go ahead and just go at it. First question is going to be who we think should be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. The second question is who in the Eastern Conference should the top seeds be most scared of? And the last question is Steph the MVP? All right. So now,
all right, whoever wants to go first, hold on. Let me set a timer. So wait, y'all, I forget. Is it a minute?
Yeah, it's a minute for each.
I'll get a minute. All right.
All right, Marlyn, you can go first. on the first one.
I'm gonna hit it as soon as you start talking about it.
Okay, so for the with the first pick in the 2021 NBA draft, the team with the first pick should select Cade Cunningham. That was not as smooth as I wanted it to be. But I honestly, college basketball was kind of boring for me this year. I didn't pay too much attention. It was a tumultuous season, but I know there was a lot of hype about Cade Cunningham, and I know there was a lot of hype about him coming out of high school. And I really just think a player like that is a good fit for any team. And I think this is a situation where it's like best player over best fit. I've never really been a believer in best fit, but I think a player who has good height, good size on him, because he's about 6'7", and he's a good passer, like a point forward, and he's shooting about 43% from the field, 40% from three. Those are pretty good splits. I think a player like that can enhance almost any team, because he's shown a good IQ, and I think like I said, he's pretty malleable for any team.
Good job. You're right at like a minute and 2 seconds. Killed it. All right, Rob.
All right.
Whenever you're ready.
All right, so for the first pick, honestly, I think it comes down to whoever actually has the first pick. It's hard to go against Cade, but I think in today's NBA, you have to build around a point guard. You look at the best point guards in the league, Steph, Dame. I mean, even, sad to say, Trey getting hurt, he's up there with point guards as well. But I think you got to go Jalen Suggs. Killed it this year in Gonzaga, showed he's a proven winner, just couldn't pull through in the championship game, that insane game winner. 14 and a half, 5.5, and 4.5 on 50% from the field, almost nearly 2 steals per game. He's an elite defender. I think that he's going to be a great guy that you could build around a franchise, be a franchise point guard. Another guy I wanted to throw in there is Evan Mobley. That's why I said it kind of depends on who has the first pick. It's hard to build around bigs today, but I think that if you a team that's in need of just starting over and rebuilding, you got to go Jalen Suggs.
Here that I took. I'm gonna go with Robert on this first one. Sorry, Marlon. I think Marlon made some great points, but I think you kind of hit it on the head with Suggs being a first pick contender because of a solid point guard. He's a winner. I mean, obviously they got blitzed by Baylor, but yeah, he is a good defender. He's a gamer, and he does a little bit of all. And I think him and Cade are just neck and neck. I think I think either of the 3 guys mentioned, they can all go number 1, and I would hate to see someone actually try to argue against it. But yeah, I'm gonna give it to Robert on that first one. That's the first time I voted Robert to win.
He hates picking me.
I was like really like, I did not want to pick him. All right, but I can't be biased. Okay.
Say number 2 again, Choder, just so the people know.
So the second debate is, so should any of the top teams, is there any team in the lower ranks of the East that the top one should be scared of?
All right, I'll go first on this one. So my team that they should be afraid of is the Miami Heat, who currently sits 7 in the Eastern Conference. They're 6-4 in their last 10. Obviously, they made it to the finals last year, losing to the Lakers. They're finally healthy, and that's the big thing right there. They're insanely deep. The team is ridiculous. They're just loaded with wing guys, and then you have arguably he could end up being all defense or even defensive player of the year in Bam Adebayo. I know you guys saw how much he was locking down Kyrie about a week ago. It was absolutely ridiculous. Held him over 8 shooting when he was guarding him. Being led by I'm out.
No, keep going.
Oh,
you got about 30 seconds.
Being led by Jimmy Butler. Jimmy. Having him in Chicago, he's just a ruthless leader. Just kills it every single time. Any team he's on, you had all the bad talk about him, but he knocked all of that away. He's a proven leader in this league, self-motivated and built himself up. I just think the Miami Heat in the playoffs, that's a team you don't want to play because of that Heat culture.
Stuff. You damn near you had more time. But good job. Good points. All right, Marlon. Whenever you're ready.
Okay. The team that I think the upper echelon of the Eastern Conference should clear is the Knicks. Of course, they're on a hot streak right now. So any team coming into the playoffs with momentum should definitely be feared. But I think specifically where they should be feared is the defense because they're third, I believe, in defensive efficiency, and they're actually first in points allowed. And a Tom Thibodeau team, they're going to play hard and just holding teams to defense. Where in the league today, that's kind of a thing that people don't do as much. Defense isn't as highly sought after. I think any team that gets gritty like that is a good playoff team and hard to beat. And now they have a star with Julius Randle who can put up numbers and he can he's just good offensively all around. He gets a lot of assists too. And I know they started off rough, but with momentum going into the playoffs, I think they have a good shot. I think they should be feared.
So I got to pick Marlyn on this. The Knicks have been way too hot. And I've been saying, even though I'm a Knicks hater, like, I'm a Bulls fan. Like, I am not big on the Knicks, but I got to give it to Tibbs. He is killing it.
Definitely.
He's got these guys in perfect position, and I think, Marlyn made some great points. Their defense is killer, and I think if you have to go against the Knicks defense for 7 games, like, they can really. I mean, they're sitting at a 4 spot, so they're technically like one of the top teams right now. But if they have to come against like a Brooklyn or like a Sixers, like it'll be fun. So
shout out D Rose and shout out our boy Max sticking with the Knicks for all these years.
Yeah,
finally paid off.
I meant to mention D Rose, but I was like, I have to mention these points in a minute. I was going to mention D Rose because I mentioned Julius Randle in his star power, but I'm like, D Rose is pretty clutch too.
He's been killing it. All right, Chody, go ahead with number 3. Marlyn, you start this one out.
Okay. So hold on. Let me say it for our listeners.
Let me check our messages real quick because hold on 1 second. I'm not even sure which part I'm supposed to say. 1 second.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna name it real quick. You can take your time.
Oh yeah.
So in a recent interview, Steph Curry said he should get the MVP, but he probably won't get it due to the way it's voted for and things like that. So my question to you guys is, do you guys think that say the Warriors end up in the top, I don't know how many games are left or anything, like where they could possibly end up if they just keep winning, but if they end up in the top 6 to 5 seed, do you think Steph should be a top 2 candidate for MVP? That's the question.
Okay. Well, I'll say yes because the MVP race has been kind of wild this year with injuries and people coming in and out. He literally just had one of the most historic performances of all time. And I think with Russell Westbrook in the past, you've seen he had a historic season and he was able to get his team to a 6th seed, I believe, that year, or 7th seed, and he won MVP. Now, you got good competition with guys like Jokic, but I think putting up numbers like that and then without Clay, that really kind of is the definition of MVP because his team was literally the worst team in the league last year. They got the 2nd pick because of it. And literally just putting him on that team, he is their offense. Like, you look at the scores, I mean, the box score certain nights, he'll have 47, the second highest scorer on his team has 12. And it's like you pull out some pretty quality wins sometimes with just him as your offensive attack. He's like literally the only threat, and he's still scoring and making things happen offensively. And that's what's winning them games. So, yeah, I'd say he'd be MVP if they get to the higher seed like you said.
Okay. I have Steph. I don't think that he could get it. I think the big factor is just, as you said, where his team is, and there's too many players right now who are playing at MVP level who are going to finish a lot higher in the standings than he's going to be. It sucks that that's the way the NBA works, and most sports work like that as well, but I think that's just going to end up happening, continue going. You have Jokic right now, who's at 26.5, 11 boards and 8.5 assists. His team's sitting at 38 and 20. And honestly, his stats are going to go up even more with Jamal Murray being out for the season. I think Jokic is actually going to run away with it. But my season prediction this year, I actually had Joel Embiid winning MVP, where he's right up there as well at 30 points, 11.5 boards, and a block and a half a game. And they got the best record in the NBA. Or right up there with the Jazz, one of the two. But I just think it's going to be end up finishing as one of them for the MVPs instead of Steph because of team record. The way Steph's been playing has been absolutely ridiculous, but I can't see him actually ended up winning the MVP. I think they're going to start getting into the younger guys as well.
So before I make a decision, Rob, just to be clear, you think that even if Steph keeps this up and they end up with a really high, like a higher seed, you don't think he'll get it? Like even? Okay. All right. Great points, both sides, but I got to go with Rob.
Yeah.
I think honestly, I was gonna go with Marlyn until you made the point that Jokic stats are about to be even better because there is no Jamal Murray, and now he's gonna have to take even more of a load as a facilitator on top of scoring and things like that.
Just want to let you guys know I agree with that. I just had to choose the other one.
So, but
You feel like Max
no, those are
Kellerman?
good. Those are great debates.
We'll be back. We'll be
I'm
back
really
again.
glad that happened.
We'll be back again. I'm sure next time I don't know. I'll either be taking on Choder or I'll be taking on Ben. One of the two.
Have to be Ben.
Rematch.
Ben was the champ.
I want a rematch.
Yeah, that was fun. That was a good one. All right.
So we're actually gonna go into our next topic. It's actually gonna be based off of our last question, and we're gonna be talking about Steph's hot streak that he's been on because it's like you said, absolutely historic. I wrote a little bit down about what he's actually been doing. I know he had a game a couple days ago where he actually slowed down a little bit, didn't have a good shooting night, but I'm sure that's going to change. I think the Warriors play tonight, so that'll change. But in 8 days, he had 4 games where he had 10 3-pointers. So like I said, 4 games where 10 3-pointers in 8 days. Throughout those 4 games, he was averaging 40.7 points per game on his shooting splits of 55, 50, and 91%. And he now leads the NBA in scoring over Bradley Beal. This is just historic. He can't miss a shot.
Yesterday.
Except yesterday, like you said. But I guess he was due. He was due to miss a shot for how good he's been shooting.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's historic. I mean, he's passing like he did something like that Wilt Chamberlain's done, but Wilt Chamberlain did it like 40 times. So I guess he's catching up, but I don't even know. Like Choder, I know you guys are both the Steph guys more so around here. I will say that I'm starting to like Steph more now. But it's just historic what he's doing.
Yeah, I think I'll go first real quick. I mean, this just grants Steph is like we are watching like greatness, like same like with LeBron and other people that we've seen in the past. But like people like to hate on Steph, but dude, he is the best point guard in the league. Like whatever you want to say about Dame, go ahead. I mean, it's obviously they're 1 and 2, but Steph's the best point guard in the league. I don't think I really have to debate that much into it. And it's crazy how well he is playing. And I really hope they get into the playoffs because I think, granted, if they win a game or a series or not, I think it would just be cool to see Steph Curry back in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Because like I said, we want these marquee matchups, and we want to see the best players play. And Steph is also a good example of that. Like he only didn't play when he had that butt injury, and and then you see he came back from it. And he's been killing ever since. But it's like, and he's putting on a show. Like his demeanor isn't down or anything. He's putting on a show without Clay, and like he knows the team isn't going anywhere. He's just going out there performing to the best of his ability and putting on a show for the fans. And that's all you can really ask for. Like you want to see the stars do star stuff, and he's getting up there in age too, and he's a guard, so he's a smaller guy too.
Yeah.
So he's kind of the perfect example of what I was talking about earlier. And to a more specific degree, remember that game he had against Jason Tatum last week? That was probably the best game of the season, which is like you wouldn't expect that matchup to end up being the best game of the season, but it kind of was.
That was when Tatum got the triple-double, right?
I don't know if he had a triple-double.
No, I know Tatum had his first career triple-double recently. I didn't know which game it was.
He had like something 10 and 10 that day, but he had like 44 and 10 against Steph, and Steph had like 47. And I think it went down to the wire too.
Yeah.
But it's like those are the type of matchups. I mean, that's what you want to see from a superstar is actual
Mhm.
effort, and then going off doing historic stuff, trying to keep his team in the playoff picture. It's like that's exactly what you want to see. Oh, and I want to ask you guys this too, because me and my roommate were having this debate about the most skilled player in the league. A lot of people say Kyrie, and I want to do this for the debate, but I had to give him that. He won that, whatever. Let's still salty. No, but who do you think is the most skilled player, or who do you think is more skilled? I'll just say this: Kyrie or Steph. I think they're probably the two most skilled.
Um, hmm. It's definitely close. I think with maybe more so just his bag. I would say Kyrie just dribbling with what he could do with the ball, but craftiness, I would honestly go Steph, if that makes sense.
Well, this is how I put it, because I mean, if we're going just ball handling, even though Steph's really close, I think Kyrie just looks a little more fluid, but Steph is just as effective. But I think if we include, I think we got to include shooting, and Kyrie's a really good shooter, so that's why he's still up there. But I think if we include shooting, then we got to go Steph.
Yeah, because I mean, the way like Kyrie plays, the way he dribbles, it could be used a lot as well as in like street ball. Like Kyrie would be, he would dominate like street ball. I mean, imagine him back in like the and one days. You know what I'm saying?
Imagine
Like,
him in the '60s. Do you remember that Bob Cousy video where he's only using his right hand and he's making everybody fall?
Kyrie would he would dominate.
They would all get injured trying to go up.
Like
56 torn ACLs.
But I think because like the way that Steph does it, it's not as like that's the word I'm looking for. It's not as flashy. It's not as flashy as the way Kyrie dribbles.
It kind of is flashy. I think it's what I like the fluidity of it. Like Steph's looked like he just practiced it and he did drills, but the moves are still good and they're still effective. I think it's just we don't really recognize Steph as a ball handler because he shoots so well.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like, we don't see that first, but with Kyrie, we know that's like his thing.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I do think Kyrie is a slightly better ball handler. Oh, well, he has a little bit more in his bag, like you said.
Yeah. What do you think, Shoulder?
If we include shooting, then you have to give it to Steph.
I don't know. I think you at first question you asked, you said who do you think's the most skilled player in the league? I think Kevin Durant's up there, but obviously between the two of who we're talking about. I don't know, because one of you guys said effectiveness, and I think that was a big part of my decision, because I think Steph's like skill is like it wins games, like what he's able to do, how he's just simply able to dominate and control a whole game. Like Kyrie, like obviously Kyrie can kill everyone, but I think as far as deeper bags, I think it probably is Kyrie, to be honest.
So then that's probably your answer, because
I would say Kyrie
is because effect kind of means like who do you think is better at that point, and I think all of us might say Steph. I would say Steph.
I would say Steph too.
Yeah, but I'm talking about more of skill, and I don't know.
Like, definitely.
If you don't include shooting, then I don't know. But I think that's a big part of it, because like a lot of what Kyrie does, he'll just make a little bit of space and he'll do those like mid-range fadeaways, and that's part of his bag too. But like if you count that, then I think you got to count 3-point shooting.
You know, I think I actually have a really good idea for what we could do on our show next week.
What?
This kind of has to go in with what you just said. Next week, like we could take like a different angle of the way we've been approaching the show. I know this is completely out of nowhere, but with how you're talking about skill and what like in their bag and everything, I think next week we should all kind of like the whole show would just be based on this, but we build the perfect NBA player. But we don't talk about our decisions beforehand. We just come in and be like, all right, shooting, we all say who it is, and then we debate on it. Dribbling, boom. Defense, boom. You get what I'm saying?
For like one show?
For one show, that's just the show. We build the perfect NBA player and we debate on which one should be each one. But we don't talk about anything beforehand.
Person? Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like that could definitely be a really good conversation, because like this one, there's so many guys, like Choder even threw in KD is the most skilled.
Yeah. Even though I wouldn't say so, because I think he doesn't have as much skill as like.
Well, honestly, one guy we didn't say.
Think about it though; he's so big and he's able to do just as many things as the guard.
I'm saying because he's so big, I don't think he can dribble as well as them.
I was just about to say
he's more efficient because he's taller.
We didn't even James Harden.
He's cool. Yeah, but
James Harden's I mean, just the way he dribbles. Like I built a guy actually in 2K who plays just like him. Like I'll stand at the 3-point line and just dribble between my
Back and
legs,
forth.
and then I just
Yeah.
choose the side I'm going to. And
Yeah.
they can't keep up with it, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the way he plays, but I think obviously I agree with you. It's Kyrie and Steph 1 and 2. And I mean damn near it's like 1A, 1B, how close
Yeah.
they are. But if I'm going, I think based off the way they play too, and you know, obviously with their track records as well, Steph is the better choice if you're trying to do more than just show flash. If you're trying to win,
Yeah.
you could throw anybody with Steph.
Those
But
threes
it's
are
definitely
sick.
it's definitely a really really good debate that we could probably get more into in a future episode where we could actually break down each player as well. Um, but yeah, I really like that. But I don't know. I really think that eventually, because the way Steph's been playing, it's just been insanely high. I hope that it could actually, maybe it continues to the end of the season, and then maybe you end up winning that debate that we just had as well. Um,
That'd be
and
a
then
crazy MVP for a third MVP in
yeah,
a season. That'd be crazy. But yeah,
but
I think it's too.
But yeah, man, we just hit our last segment here on the step back, our weekly draft this week. Obviously, everybody, if you're a basketball fan, you just saw that Zion just got his first signature shoes. So I had the idea, let's all draft. You said, I don't know, you said 3. I feel like we could all maybe get 4 picks in because it's only 3 of us.
I think I got a lot. I got a lot on my
you want
board.
to draft 5s then?
I think we could get 5.
All right,
They're
we'll do
probably
it.
the bottom ones probably won't be that good, but
All right. It's all cool. But all right, we're gonna draft the best signature shoes of all time. I did a random order generator beforehand. It went me, Marlyn, then Choder. So we'll just do a snake draft.
Snake.
Yeah. What?
question.
Yep.
So we're drafting like just a line of shoes or like a
no,
specific
not a
shoe?
specific shoe. Not a specific shoe.
Okay.
Just
curious.
a
I was
line.
like, dude, mine's just gonna be retros.
Oh, that's yeah,
Okay.
exactly. Well,
Okay.
like you said right there, I'm going first. I think the first pick is pretty easy. I'm going Jordan. There's literally nothing better than just a Jordan.
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 You just got lucky with that random generator.
I
You already
swear.
All right, Marlon, you're up.
Oh, my bad.
You're good.
Number 2, I think I just got to go with the easy one, LeBron.
Nope, locked it in.
LeBron.
All right, so
Brian.
I think I'm gonna go with an easy third here for me. I think Kobe's. I think Kobe's are cold.
That's my 1, 2, 3 as well. Damn it,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
They were my number 1. I was gonna pick. I think
Oh.
Kobe's. Anytime I see, obviously, like I knew Jordan was gonna go 1, but I think overall, from like a basketball shoe standpoint, I think Kobe's are. You hear a lot of NBA players talk about how Kobe's are like their.
Plenty of people
shoe.
use them. Plenty of people
Right.
use them.
For playing, people use them, but
Yeah.
I'm not including playing. I'm just including iconicism. That's not a word.
No, yeah, the Jordans. You had to go number 1.
It's not a word, but that was a good word.
Iconicism.
It makes no sense. Sometimes
That should be the name of the podcast.
Iconicism.
Iconicism. That never is. We should do a segment. We got hella segments. But
All right, snake it back, Choder.
oh yeah.
Oh, I get 2. Cool. I'm excited. Just for a second pick though, that's so tough. I'm gonna go pennies.
I was hoping I thought you guys were. We were all thinking it. Well, that one that makes it easier for my next one then, because I was having a tough decision to which one I should
Don't
get.
say it. Who are you picking?
The question, well, not just the questions, but Iverson shoes. That's the worst part of the snake draft, bro. Is if you get first,
You
might
might
I
get
hella
last.
have to
Hella
wait.
last.
Like it's just, I mean, it helps that I have the perfect first round pick. Like that's the only thing that's helping me.
you have because one of that one takes like away like the first 3 of ours.
Oh
but-
god.
I
I was hoping I was gonna get one of them on the comeback. Like that's what I was hoping for.
I didn't know you guys were be that quick with the Ivos and the pennies.
You know
Yeah,
what? I actually really like his shoes. I had a pair once, and I was actually I borrowed a pair from someone. I wore them once. They were really comfortable. I'm gonna go KD's.
Ah,
Almost went KD, so my second pick. But
I
then
think
stopped
Kate,
myself.
especially I mean the aunt pearls.
Those are sick.
Those are just absolutely
I had a
insane.
feeling you were gonna go there.
I was about to say someone as a joke, but I thought you guys were looking to take it serious.
Let's make that one.
I don't know. Okay, I need some clarification.
All right, who do I go on the bounce?
It's me, right?
No, I still have to take my pick.
He's got 2.
Oh yeah, because you're okay. My bad.
Who do I want? Who do I want? Those are so ugly though. You know what? I'm gonna go with D Rose.
He was lower on my list, but I'm like, I kind of want to do it just off the strength.
Yeah, his shoes when they first started coming out were so much nicer than where they're at now. The first edition D Roses, those were unmatched.
Yeah,
I feel like everyone had a pair of those. I didn't.
Yeah, around here, like everyone had a pair.
Yeah. I feel like they were like,
they were a lifestyle shoe around here.
Yeah.
I used to see a lot of chunky Hispanic kids playing outside, and
in EC, everybody had a pair of D Roses.
All right.
Go ahead, Marlon.
Okay, so you guys picking actually makes it a little easier. But also, okay. This one is for iconicism, but I also need some clarification because but that was the Chuck Taylors, those are a basketball shoe, right?
Yeah, those were Magics.
And Bird.
It was Magic?
Well, I mean, they wore it back in the day, but like Magic and Magic and Larry in like the 80s, they were in the 70s and 80s were the ones that brought like Converse back.
You mean up?
Because I know Dr. J also wore them too, but like
that's who I was gonna go with was Dr. J, because he had like his own brand of Converse too. Like he had his own piece of Converse too. So I'll go with Dr. J, because I know he was a big influence on Jordan too. So he kind of was. It's like a knockoff Jordan, because he's kind of the leading into it. See, these pictures are getting hella sad.
Okay.
All right, Choder.
Now these are all just off like which ones look the like best to me now. Not off iconicism. Shoot, I don't know. I'm stuck between two. I'm gonna go Kyrie's. I know it's kind of a weird and weak third, but I think Kyrie makes some pretty cool.
Nah, because if I didn't pick Irving, Dr. J's shoes, I probably would have won Kyrie's.
Kyrie's are top on my board.
So I'm gonna go Curry. Yes.
I gotta snake it. Okay, well I'm not gonna pick Curry. Don't worry.
What? What'd you say?
I said I'm not picking Curry, so don't worry.
Okay.
I'm gonna pick Dames. I think Dames are cold.
Oh, thank you for that, because that was a horrible pick, and I'm gonna go.
Was it that bad of a pick, Rob?
I don't like Dames.
Really? I think they're dope.
Choder just lost the draft with that pick.
With Curry, I used to see a lot.
Definitely did it. My top 3 are heavy hitters. So I don't want to hear that.
I used to see a lot of.
I'm not a big fan of Dames.
I think Currys are weak. Currys are not a good.
I did used to see a lot of like kids who look like little Choders running around with like huge elite socks and Nike shorts on and Currys.
So you're taking Curry? You're taking Curry?
I was thinking that's why he was gonna pick it, because I used to see
Currys make me sick.
They aren't the nice, but some of them are nice. They all kind of. That's one of the points I had about like why Jordan is such a runaway first and LeBron is second, because every other person's shoe, you just think of like one. They all blend in. Jordan, all his shoes were hella different.
Yeah,
his shoe was ridiculously different. So that's why it gets harder once you go down. But
did you take Steph?
Yeah, I got Curry.
All right, you took Steph. Okay, so my pick, I'm gonna go.
Okay, LeBron.
What did you just pick? Curry.
Do I want to go him or him? Those were like pretty sick though back in the day.
Well,
Not even gonna lie.
I think I'm missing something.
You know what? I'm gonna take Pippins right here. Scotty had
the last pick, right?
Yeah, I have one more after this. So Scotty had some pretty nice shoes. And people still wear them today, so I'll go with those.
Scotty, I didn't even know those were his, but I just seen them and they were nice. They kind of look like heart pennies, right?
Yeah, really similar.
I didn't know those were his. Yeah.
And there's another guy I want to go, but I don't know. I don't know if you guys have ever seen his shoes, but they were nasty, and they started taking off when he left the States. I'm gonna go with Starbury's.
Oh.
Stephon Marbury has some nice shoes, man.
Okay, it's on me. Yeah, I actually don't know his shoes that look like when he left the States, but
That's where they started to get. They're saying they're insanely popular over there in China. His shoes.
okay, so now I'm having a tough time because like we could always go with the guys who are playing now who have a solid shoe that's wearable, but I kind of want to go a little outside the box, and I'm kind of stuck between these two.
It might be one of these. One of these two guys might have been my last pick.
I wonder who. I think it's gonna be one of mine.
I think the one I'm gonna pick, I'm gonna leave the other one for if I hope Trotter picks this one because I want this one to be in our list.
I feel like I'm not gonna pick it.
I don't know. There's two guys. They're older players.
So if we don't add this one, I'll just give it an honorable mention.
All right, go ahead.
So the one that I am picking is the Patrick Ewing.
I was thinking about that.
I wasn't gonna pick
I was like, I think honorable mention, yes, but those shoes are so disgustingly high that I would never be able to wear
too. But that's why I'm not basing it just off of basketball because people still wear them nowadays, and they're kind of a unique shoe. So I like them.
There's one shoe that I forgot to pick. I'm gonna let Choder say his. But there's two that I want to mention.
I'm stuck between two old heads.
Old. I think I should have just went with the other one.
Yeah, both these guys are retired.
I can't believe I forgot to say this one shoe.
Who is it?
No, you gotta pick yours.
Y'all might like fight me on this, but I think he has some pretty nice shoes. Not all of them are nice. But I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with Charles Barkley.
Barkley was one of my picks. Like Barkley,
I think he
Barkley actually had some nice ones.
Are those pretty bulky too?
Not as bulky as Ewing's. Ewing's are ridiculous.
Ewing's are damn near Tim's.
Ewing's, it makes sense. He played in New York, but Ewing's, if you literally like broke your ankle in those, you couldn't take the shoe off. Like, is that bad?
Like you could just if somebody had on Ewing's and you killed them and you were trying to dump them in the river, you wouldn't have to tie a cinder block. You could just throw them in with their Ewing's on.
Who was your guy? Who was your guy? Because I'm gonna say mine when you were done.
The honorable mention?
Yeah.
Was the ZO2s. I
was dead ass gonna say the big baller brand. No, I'm not gonna lie. But no, that wasn't mine.
It's not even like they're the best. It's just like the iconicism of it. Like of course he's not the best player, but just like somebody with a lot of hype coming out trying to make their own shoe instead of going to somebody else. And somebody who's actually popular too. Like it was a shoe that could have actually sold, unlike, some random guy who just made their own shoe. So like I just respect I respect the story around it more so than it would have been a black owned company too. That would have been dope. Well, I think didn't they just end it? Like it was just too many problems.
Yeah, they just banned. There was something going on with the manager. I don't know everything.
Yeah.
I was actually gonna go with the Shaqs, the Pumpets.
Oh yeah, that was the other old head.
Shaqnosis or something like that.
Yeah, dude, Shaq actually had some pretty sick shoes, but then he started his own brand and ruined everything. But no, the Pumpets, dude. I can't believe I forgot to bring those up, but that's a shame. I don't know. I don't know who won this one. It was
who did I go with?
For my Bron, AI, Dr. J, Steph, and Patrick Ewing.
And then you won. You had Jordan. Who'd you have? Jordan, KD,
KD, D Rose, Pippen, and Starbury.
Pippen, Starbury. But Jordan just holds so much weight that he damn near won.
Yeah.
We all had solid lists though, I think. Like Braun and Iverson, I think those are pretty good picks. I got the throwback with the Dr. J.
That's
shoe.
a super throwback. You can't wear Chucks no more.
That's like the first shoe, kind of.
Yeah.
Like when you think of, because no one knows what else people used to wear back in the day besides like the Converse. Who was Choder's list? I know he had.
He just messed it up with Dame.
I don't think that was that bad of a pick, though. I think that's a better pick than Curry.
Because like Dame, you could have just went with some more iconic shoe than you just picked a shoe with somebody that's like.
Honestly, I like Harden's a lot more than Dame's.
That was between us.
You could have even taken a D Wade.
That's funny. We thought we weren't going to be able to make like a top 5, and then we ended.
But now we have more that we want to talk about.
Honestly, I actually really like the new Zions though. I think they're actually really nice shoes.
I like how it's dope how he has the haircut too.
Yeah, I think that's a really cool shoe.
So you had Kobe, Penny, Kyrie, Dame,
and Chuck.
Wait, no, he didn't have. Oh, Charles. Yeah. Yeah, you kind of messed it up with the Dame.
Wasn't that bad of a pick?
Not as a 4th rounder though.
It was just. It's not an iconic shoe, and it's like kind of on a lower tier of the shoes that are like of the guys playing out. Like I had Kawhi on the list. I think PG-13s are better than Dame. Yeah, but like all of these picks would have been kind of boring. Like the Kawhis, the Giannis, the PG, the Harden. I feel like all those would have been kind of boring.
Yeah,
Kyrie has nice.
All right, I don't want to keep getting crapped on for my Dame pick. I don't think it was that bad. Let's move on. God.
Yeah, man. So I guess I'll take that one then. It only helps with Jordan. We'll come up with another draft for next week. Like I said, if you guys get this far in the pod, send us some ideas for drafts. We'll draft anything. It doesn't even matter. Anything basketball related, we'll draft.
Food pictures.
Yeah, we don't have to do that. We could do more.
We could draft NBA. We'll draft NBA courts for all I care. It don't even matter.
Stadium names.
I don't even know what number 1 would. Oh, it'd be Smoothie King Arena. That's number 1.
Smoothie King Center.
Or jersey numbers.
Oh, that'd be. Well, actually, that's not a bad draft, but that's slim picking once you hit like the 3rd, 4th round. 91.
What's worse, 98 or 91?
98's worse.
What's better, 0 or double 0?
0.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. That's it for this week. We'll be back hopefully next week. Dropping another pod. We should hopefully Ben's back with us. But that's it for episode 7. For Choder, Marlyn, I'm Rob. Tell all your friends about us. YouTube, IMRRA, Step Back Pod, anywhere on all streaming platforms. You guys got anything else left to say?
Nah, I'm cool.
All right, then we're out, man. We'll catch you guys next week.